Now, the team over at CIG is full of very talented developers and artists who are working their absolute hardest to bring you new features and new experiences in Star Citizen. Today, I'm going to go over 7 new features that you should look forward to in 2021. Now, not all items on this list are guaranteed to release when they say, but I'm pretty sure most of them you can expect to come out this year. Some of them may be delayed. It just depends on whether or not they hit any snags along the way. My name is Eternal Pain, and if you like keeping up to date with Star Citizen's development, ship reviews, and just general tips and tricks on how to survive in the verse, you have come to the right place. So if you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you enjoy the content you're presented with today, drop a like at the end of the video, as it's much appreciated and it helps more people see my content. With all of that being said, let's hop into the video. Now, before we get into the list today, I would like to let you know that none of these are in any specific order. They're not ranked from best to worst. They're not ranked from first to last. It's just 7 things that I thought were pretty neat, and I thought I would share them with you because these are game-changing additions, as with everything that comes out for Star Citizen, and I thought this would be a pretty neat video to make. However, I did save the best feature on this list for last. So hang around to the end of the video to check that out. So the first item on this list is the new cave entrances that we will be looking forward to in 3.13. CIG has said that they're going to introduce a couple of new entrance styles that you can either drive a ground vehicle into or fly a small ship into and land. Personally, I am very excited to see these new entrances and what new features it might add to caves in general, seeing as how the landscape will change, at least on the entryways. I'm not sure if it'll change the actual depths of the cave any as to how it's structured, but I do believe this will make for a little more interesting gameplay when you're trying to find those lost clients or just cave mining in general with your multi-tool. The next feature on my list is vehicle names and serial numbers. They are finally going to be giving us the ability to name our ships, and our names will proudly be displayed on the side of our ship with a custom serial number so that it gives it a unique identifier when in the verse. Now, there may be multiple ships running around with the same name, but no 2 serial numbers will ever be the same. Personally, like I said in a previous video, I'm curious to see how many Millennium Falcon, Red Ones, and Razor Crests will be running around in the verse, seeing as how I know there are a lot of Star Wars fans that play this game. Personally, I haven't really considered what name I'm going to put on my Mercury Star Runner yet, but I do believe this new feature will give players a brand new sense of immersion, seeing as how they can finally have a bit of personalization to their ship. While we're on the topic of ships, my next item on this list is Vehicle Visual Degradation. This will allow ships to show wear and tear over time. The longer they exist in the verse, the more wear and tear they'll show. The first implementation of this is only going to be strictly visual wear and tear. It's not going to affect your equipment or anything like that to start with, but it will be nice to see some ships out there that may have existed for a really long time without being destroyed and just have rust and wear on their edges and the paint's all chipped off. It's going to be a really interesting thing to see because as it stands right now, everybody's ship looks brand new as opposed to, hey, it's been around for a while, so it's starting to wear out a little. This will also open up features like space car washes down the line, and we'll see a subtle change in how people actually use their ships depending on whether they're more combat oriented or if they're just explorers. And this will range from anything from a little bit of dirt and grime all the way up to scorch marks from battle. So all you dogfighters out there, beware, your ship will finally bear its scars. All right, moving on to number 4 on the list. It is another ship feature, and one that I'm sure a lot of us who are more combat oriented in the verse have been looking forward to. And that is the replacement of legacy shield systems with signed distance field tech. That is going to allow the shield to create a mesh that pretty much contours to the ship's body that it's on, eliminating the possibility for weak spots and things like that. The developers over at CIG are currently adapting the code to determine the shield hits based off dynamically contoured shield meshes for more accurate combat gameplay. So that's a huge plus, because I know my Saber, the Hornet, and the Buccaneer, as well as a few other ships, have shield holes, whereas if somebody knows how to exploit those, you're not going to last long in a dogfight with those ships. So once this new shield tech comes online, not only is it going to have cooler effects when it's hit by something, it's also going to better protect you against an onslaught from an enemy force. Huge plus. Can't wait for that to happen, because I am tired of getting destroyed because somebody hits a hole in my shields. Moving right along to number 5 on the list, that is an actor feature with Physicalized Inventory. When implemented, players will physically store weapons, gadgets, consumables, healing items, and more on their person and in vehicles via backpacks, pockets, and containers. This feature, when implemented, is going to add a little more immersion to the game, seeing as how once you step off of your ship, all you're going to have access to is what you have equipped to your character. You're not going to be able to swap your armor on the fly. You're not going to be able to swap your weapons on the fly. What you take with you is all that you have, and I like that because it adds just a little bit more challenge when doing hard missions. I'm sure there are a lot of players out there that won't exactly like this feature, but hey, you can't always have your quote magic bag of holding so that you have access to all your inventory. Star Citizen is a game that is meant to be immersive, based on survival, and as accurate to the real world as it can be, and with the implementation of features such as Physicalized Inventory, it adds that extra challenge that players who back this game are actually looking for. So to all of you scrubs out there that don't know how to prep for a mission before you go, you should probably learn how to now. Alright, these last 2 items on the list are going to be 2 parts each, because both parts of each one kind of tie in with each other. And the first one I'm going to talk about is the multi-tool healing attachment along with the Cure Life medical tool. The multi-tool healing attachment, from what I understand, is for a player to use on themselves instead of a medical pin, and it will have an animation where it renders you motionless for a moment so you are exposed to attack. So it would be best to use this when crouching behind a rock in the middle of battle, or say you're running from one of the creatures that will be later added to the game. You'll actually need to hide in order to use the multi-tool healing attachment, whereas the Cure Life medical tool will be used by those interested in medical gameplay to act as a field medic, so that when their friends or their allies are injured on the battlefield, they can just run up to them with the medical tool and say, hey, I got you, and get them right back into the fight. That too, from what I understand, will also have an animation that renders you motionless for a few seconds. So make sure to use these intelligently. Don't just run out all willy-nilly and say, oh cool, we're getting shot at, and try to heal somebody or heal yourself. I do think this is a step in the right direction for medical gameplay. I also can't wait until hospitals and stuff like that are added later on into the game, but this is a nice starting point for being able to add some sort of medic gameplay into Star Citizen. So good on CIG for that. And the last item on today's list, probably one that we have all been looking forward to for a very long time. For those of us who look out into space while we're standing on Port Al-Azhar, wondering when one day we will be able to explore Crusader in all of its glory. In 3.14, as it stands right now, it's not set in stone, but they will be adding their gas giant tech so that you can actually fly into the gas clouds of Crusader and explore. And also they will be adding the Orison landing zone and shipyard to Crusader. Now, I do believe when this comes into the game, Port Al-Azhar will cease to exist, because Port Al-Azhar was a stand-in for Crusader's landing zone. But from what I understand, Orison is going to be a very luxurious place to visit. Basically, it's going to be a tourist attraction for the new players in the game. I personally can't wait to see it, with the space whales floating through the gas clouds of Crusader, along with just the beauty of the planet. The floating city, I mean, come on, it's Star Citizen's very own Cloud City. All of my Star Wars buds out there, you've got to admit that that's pretty freaking cool. But as I said, this is not set in stone, and we all know how CIG is. Sometimes they get backed up on projects and they have to push things further down the line. But I would say that as long as iCache comes out and is fully realized this year, that we will finally see Crusader in its full glory along with its landing zone. I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but I do believe it will happen this year, guys. All right, guys, so that has been 7 features to look forward to in the future of Star Citizen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to throw a thumbs up down below. I'm gonna set a goal for this video. How about we get 33 likes on this video? 33 likes. I don't think that's too hard. It might be. I don't know. Nobody watches my videos. Also, if you enjoyed the content that I've presented you with today, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And above all else, remember to have a wonderful day. My name has been Eternal Pain, and I will see you guys next time in the verse.